Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Today we are talking about why group coaching is the secret sauce for faster results. Greetings, all you amazing entrepreneurs. Whether you are catching us live or on the replay, big welcome to all of you. I'm Heather Blaze. I am your go-to business coach. If you are a service-based entrepreneur who's looking to scale their business to make 5, 6-figure months, then you're in the right place. And this is exactly for you if you are a coach, a consultant, an expert in your field, or you just need proper guidance when it comes to setting things up in your business so that you can ultimately enjoy time and money freedom. We're diving into some golden insights today because we're talking about the value of group coaching and why it gets faster, better results than one-on-one coaching. Group coaching is the secret sauce. And I'm a firm believer in this method, not just for my business, but also for my clients too, when possible. And, whenever possible. I recommend this for my clients to use the same model. So stick around as I tell you why. Okay. You see, there's a myth in the service-based world that one-on-one is the holy grail. But today we're going to be debunking that myth and uncovering why it's so powerful to it's way more powerful in a group setting. And it can bring both you and your clients to extraordinary results. And what I love about doing things in groups is this shift in perspective happens. It happens more quickly within a group than in a one-on-one setting. So let's break that down for a minute. People in groups are less resistant to feedback. And I think that when you're in this group, people have a tendency to be less resistant. They don't feel as threatened. They don't feel like they're being attacked personally. Those in a group tend to be more coachable because of the collective journey shared with others who could be facing similar challenges. Often those seeking coaching, sometimes they have feelings of shame or fear because they're uncertain of that their issues can even be resolved. So seeing your peers' success not only erases those fears of failure, but also the fears of success. Yes, there's such a thing as fear of success. And that is something that I encounter a lot when I speak to my clients, especially when it comes to raising their prices. But as their journey goes together, right, they witness these struggles, they witness the success of one another, and then they can celebrate each other's wins. And what happens is the group turns into this really supportive community where trust grows among the members and creating more of a comforting kind of space. They're sharing personal challenges in the group that opens up, that makes them more open and less embarrassed about their own business struggles because they're seeing others do it, right? So together, everyone just supports themselves and each other, creating this environment that really boosts growth and resilience. Does that make sense? So now on to the second reason why group coaching yields faster results. Number two, in a group coaching setting, hold on, I'm getting over a cold. I know I canceled a couple of weeks ago because I was not feeling well. And then I actually had my birthday. I had my 50th birthday on Monday. And so I've been doing a lot of celebrating and now I'm feeling a little stuffed up. So hold on one sec. I might need to take a few breaks. So anyway, what this means is that you can follow a blueprint, right? That applies to all your clients, regardless of what niche they're in. So having that framework for success allows you to really go deeper with each one because the foundations are properly laid and working out these small details. They're not as complicated as it might seem. So when I say blueprint and framework, what does that make you think of? A house, maybe? So building a house that is successful is very similar. Did I say building a house is very successful? Building a business that is successful is a lot like building a house. And what's the first thing that you need to follow, or what anyone needs to follow when they build a house, right? They need to follow a blueprint. Okay. What happens if, let's say somebody goes to build a house and they don't follow a blueprint? What happens to that house? Not very good. Or let's say they don't hire an architect, right? They don't hire that expert to build out that blueprint for them to follow. Let's say they just, let's say you just, I don't know if you're an architect or not, but let's pretend for a second that you're not an architect and you're getting ready to build a house, are you going to lay out those blueprints yourself? Are you going to create those blueprints yourself so that you can follow to build the house? Or are you going to go hire an architect? Most likely you're going to hire the architect, right? You want to hire that professional. You want to hire that expert to create the blueprint, because you don't know how to create blueprints, most likely, right? Unless you are an architect. So this is what a lot of people do when they go to build a business. They think, oh, I kind of know how to build a business, just like you kind of know how to build a house, right? You know that you need a foundation. You know that a house has framework. In order for it to have framework, you need to have wood, you need to have tools, you need to have these things. You know that you need drywall. You know it needs a roof. You have an idea of how to build a house. And a lot of people think they have an idea of how to build a business, just like they know how to build a house. But what ends up happening is they start with the website. Most people start with the website when they don't know what they're doing, when they're going to build a business. And that's like starting with the roof. They haven't laid the foundation. They haven't done anything around the framework or anything like that, right? And so I am like the architect for businesses. I give my clients these blueprints to follow. Each blueprint has a framework that needs to be created, which is pretty standard, just like any house has a framework that needs, every house needs framework, right? But every house is a little bit different. Every business is a little bit different. You're different. Your knowledge, your wisdom, your expertise is different. Who you ideally want to attract is different. Your overall arching vision of what you want your business to look like is different. But all those things still need to fit around the framework. So there's like the general layout. And what I see happening over and over again is a lot of people, they're like, oh, I have this great idea, or I want to start a business. And they go out and they end up creating a job for themselves, which sometimes can be successful, sometimes not, but it takes a long time because, again, they're not an architect, right? They're not an expert in doing business. They're an expert in whatever they're delivering, which is awesome. But again, when people don't know what they don't know, they go around searching, and they're searching and researching and researching and researching, and they don't even know what to research because they've never had a business before. They don't know what to start with. They have no idea, right? So anyway, in my business, right, my clients go through one module per week, and they study on their own. Like I get that blueprint for them, right? I give them the blueprint, but it's very customized. It's very specific. It's very tailored to, again, who they are, who they want to ideally attract, and what they want to create, because just a general one size fits all, that's not going to work either. But anyway, they come in, they follow the recipe, basically step by step. They follow that blueprint step by step. Step 1, do this. Step 2, do this, right? And they study on their own each week. They get a module, and they study those on their own, basically. And then they get back to me and to the group with their output and their questions for discussion. So these weekly chats, we have weekly chats that happen every week, and we have these group discussions, which makes them shorter. And this way, everyone learns from each other's experiences. So there's no need to go through every single lesson with each person. These talks focus on deeper transformational topics while allowing them to share their experiences and get instant feedback. So just picture this. Your client watches a video about how your offer transforms lifestyles before the group meeting. And when she joins, you're both on the same page, right? Isn't that smarter and more efficient use of your time and hers, right? I mean, it is. It's like if you're repeating yourself over and over and over again, you might as well just record it, have it in that group setting. And then, it's a more time leverage thing, because that's what we're talking about here. How do you have time and money freedom? It's one thing to make a ton of money. You can make a ton of money. Money's everywhere. We live in a very abundant society, if that's your belief. And, but it is, you can make money anywhere, right? There's so much abundance. But if you're work, do, and you don't have the right system set in place, and you're just a worker bee, then you don't have any time to enjoy it, or you're exhausted or whatever. What's the point? So I just believe it's way more efficient to do it this way if possible. Okay. And usually it is, but a lot of people, they just don't know how. Okay. So just let me know here in the comments if you also have any questions. I'm just going to check that real quick, or say hi if you're here with me. Would love to see that. And hello. I see somebody's here with me. I don't know. It just says Facebook user. So if you want me to know who you are and give you a shout out, then put your name and I will give you a shout out. But thank you for being here. Welcome. And if you have any questions about anything about business, if you're feeling stuck or you feel like you're spinning your wheels or you feel like confused or overwhelmed about something, just put it in the chat. I've been doing this for over 20 years, so I'll probably know the answer right away. I'm kind of like a doctor and a GPS combined when it comes to fixing businesses. Okay, let's move on to our third thing. The third reason for why group coaching is the way to go. First, we talked about people in the group being less resistant to feedback and being more coachable. Then we also discussed how everyone in the group follows a proven method that is designed for success, regardless of, whatever field or whatever you're dealing with. Typically, if you're clear on what your outcome is, most of your clients are going to have a similar outcome, right? Again, everybody's different. It might need to be customized, but usually there's a framework that you have to lead people through to get whatever results that you're getting for them. And then there's things that might need to be customized and specific and tailored to who they are and what they're specifically dealing with, right? But if you look at therapists, for example, they help people with certain things. I have a lot of therapist clients, and a lot of them can help people with a lot of things, right? So it's really important, okay, especially when it comes to marketing and delivering your message so that it really resonates, you want to hone in on what is that one thing and build out the whole system around that one thing. And then you can repeat the process over and over again for everything you can help them with, right? But again, if you want that time and money freedom, it's really important that everything is streamlined and specific to that, outcome and tied together with who your ideal client is that wants that outcome. Who is that ideal client that's out there looking for you to help solve their problem right here, right now, so that they buy from you, right? So anyway, number 3, let's talk about this is crucial. Okay. When you work with a group, you're maximizing your time and your ability to earn. So when you're working with clients one-on-one, there's that limit to how much you can really earn. Like imagine spending 2 hours with one client and working an 8-hour day. That means at most you can handle 4 clients a day. If you charge $200 per client, you can do the math on that, right? So it makes sense. It's not a bad living, but because we only have so much time in the day, there's that limit. And sure, it might sound okay making 6 figures annually. That's fine. But here's the catch: you're trading your time and your freedom for money. So if you're not seeing clients, if you're not making money, right? Let's say you want to take off 2 weeks. That vacation will cost you. So you got to pay for airfare, accommodation, food, and all that. But plus, you're not working. So then there's that extra 4K down the drain. And then now picture this. What if you had an online high ticket group offer like what I teach? You could sell that for 3,000 to 10,000 each. And then you only need a few clients to really match that income, right? Or even exceed that, right? And when you make it one-on-one sessions, then whatever. So if you have 5 clients paying 7K each means 35K, instead of that dollars for hours thing. And the thing is too, is that it really gets people to show up because now they've got that skin in the game. If you're doing, $100 an hour, $200 an hour, they might show up, they might not show up. They don't have any skin in the game to actually do the work and really listen to you and be coachable. So it's harder to get them the results. Does that make sense? Whereas if you are charging this higher ticket up front, then and you can deliver those results, like if you've done the work, how much it takes. This is what I help my clients with too, is like, how do we figure out exactly what to do? How do we organize that? How do we take all your knowledge, your wisdom, your expertise, bring it up and out and organize it so that it really does get people these results? And how do we automate as much as possible so that they do get these results and you get that time freedom, right? So again, now imagine having 1 or 2 calls with all 5 of them every week instead of meeting them individually. You could even take that 2-hour call from anywhere. No need to be tied to an office. So your group just continues with their program through your automation. Does that make sense? It's definitely win-win. I see it all the time. It's like proven, proven, proven. So, hey, Mariani, nice to see you. Awesome. So, anyway, your clients, they just get more value from the group calls faster than they would in one-on-one sessions. And it's a win for you as a service-based entrepreneur as well. Like you don't only earn more money. If your goal is to positively influence more people, offering groups also opens up more possibilities. So, and I also want to kind of touch base on like one of my other clients too. She came in and I wasn't even sure if I was going to take her on at first as a client. I couldn't really see or understand because she couldn't communicate the value of what she was offering. It's another thing I help my clients with is how do you communicate your value so that people not only understand it but then are also willing to pay a premium price. And I just won't take on clients if I don't think that there's something there. And we ended up having 3 calls, one with her husband, and they finally convinced me to take her on as a client. But once she got in the group too, I mean, I could kind of see that there was something there. It was, I thought we could build something. She'd been an expert in what she did for, I think it was, I can't remember if it was 20 or 30 years. It was a long time. So I knew she has expertise in it, but I just couldn't relate because I wasn't in that circumstance. But when she came into the group, uh, there were like 3 or 4 people that were like, "Oh my God, where were you when I needed you? Where were you when I was going through that?" And she has an amazing offer. She's an advocate for parents who have neurodiverse children that just don't fit into the learning system. So she helps them navigate with the schools and things like that. And she's got a really nice high ticket offer right now, she's just crushing it. She's helping so many people. It's amazing. So anyway, let's move on to number 4. And the last big idea that I want to share with you is that group coaching is all about outcomes. Okay. In a group, everyone's there to tackle a specific problem. And this focus means that every moment spent in mentoring is aimed at achieving that end goal. Now, here's the thing though, that's not always the case in one on one coaching. Often those sessions revolve around solving immediate issues rather than progressing towards the client's bigger picture. But in a group, when clients sign up, they're investing in the outcome, and that's what they're buying. That's what they're buying from you. I hear sometimes from my sales team, oh, they didn't sign on because they really wanted one-on-one coaching. And I've had this, I call it an objection when I've been meeting with people too. And I said, I don't think you really want one-on-one coaching. I know you think you do, but you don't. You don't want one-on-one coaching. What you ultimately want is what? You ultimately want the outcome. You ultimately want the results. And I have designed my program and I show my clients how to design their offers, what they do to get the best results for their clients. That's period. Okay, whatever that looks like. And then again, so that they can and design it and put all the systems in place and the automations everywhere that we possibly can, and create this group setting and stuff like that, for whatever we can. Sometimes you might have to meet one-on-one for maybe some more sensitive things. Sometimes there's a few sensitive things, or you might want to have a one-on-one at the beginning, middle, and end, something like that. There's different ways of designing it so that ultimately it gets the best results in the quickest amount of time for people. Okay. But this gives you that freedom. It gives you that freedom to charge a premium price. Why? Because there's that guarantee that after 6, 8, or 12 weeks, whatever it is for them, whatever it is for you, once it's designed, we know that this is what it'll take to get that result. They'll move from where they are to where they really want to be. Okay. It's way more liberating than selling your time. Just think about it. If people are just buying your time, they might not be too picky about who they sign up with. It's just a matter of deciding a set amount of time like everyone else. For instance, let's say working with you for an hour costs $75. That's it. But if we shift the focus to that outcome, like working with you will save their health and give them possibly 20 more years of their life, that's priceless. So by highlighting these outcomes, you not only establish yourself as an authority, but you also justify charging that premium. And here's the kicker. When people invest more for that outcome, like I said before, they're more committed. So they show up, they listen, they're more coachable, they put in the work, and they make sure that they get the results that they hired you for in the first place. So again, oh, let me give you an example. Let's see. I know. So I have this client who was she's a therapist, okay, and she was seeing clients once per week, again for hours, charging hours for dollars. And what was happening was she was only charging, I think, $60 an hour. And what was happening was her clients would show up, then they wouldn't show up, then, they would show up, and she just couldn't get them the results. And when we had our initial conversation, I offer like a free 45-minute business assessment type thing to see what's really going on. And like I said, I'm like a doctor and a GPS, so can give those steps of where you are currently to what you want to achieve. So we had a conversation, and I said, well, ideally, right, if you could wave a magic wand and set your business up to get the best results, what would that look like for you? And how often would you need to see them? How would it work? And so she told me, and I said, well, let's do that. And she just said, wow, okay. And she got her first $3,000 client within 3 weeks. She was struggling to get them there for $60 an hour because she didn't know how to communicate her value effectively to command that premium price, and position herself as that go-to. And once we got clear on that, she was able to articulate it, and she knew exactly what to say. She got her first high ticket client at $3,000 within the first 3 weeks. And I believe that person saw the results. She helped people fix their R's. She's a speech therapist, help teenagers fix their R's. And I think it was 8 weeks. I think it was 8 weeks that she got the results for them. Their R's were fixed. Okay. And then she went on to help several other people. She was telling me these kids were going from depression, suicidal thoughts, getting bullied in school to getting scholarships. And they were struggling in school to getting scholarships. Like, it just boosted their confidence so much. She was literally saving lives. Okay. As a therapist. So this is what happens when you have everything dialed in, you have your messaging dialed in, you have your offer dialed in, everything, and how it all goes hand in hand, so that you can communicate it effectively, so that people will be eager to pay you that premium, right? So again, when people invest more for the outcome, they're more committed. They show up, they listen, they're more coachable, they put in the work, and they make sure that they get those results that they hired you for in the first place. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. I'm just going to check here again. Any questions? Let me know. Even if you're here on the replay, you can put questions in there, and I will get notified to go and answer them if you want me to. So let's do a quick recap. So we discussed why group coaching is the secret sauce for faster results. This is because people in a group are less resistant to feedback. They don't feel threatened, and that creates an environment of openness regarding their struggles and their successes. In group coaching, you follow a proven step-by-step method that applies to everyone, but can also be tailored and specific to who they are and their specific needs. This also allows for deeper, more meaningful discussions, since the system is already set in place, and working with a group allows you to maximize your time and your ability to earn. And lastly, group coaching is focused on the outcome, because people understand that they're not buying your time. They're paying you for the results that they want to achieve. So they end up being more committed. So I hope that is clear. If you want to learn more about how group coaching attracts ideal clients, or if you want to be part of a group that leverages time and money, then you can just type in the word group here in the comments, and we'll get back to you ASAP. So that is it for today. Until Thursday, let's keep shooting for those goals. For the next few weeks, I am here on Thursdays at 2 p.m. instead of 3 p.m. Pacific time. So instead of 3 p.m. and 6 p.m., I'm going to be here 2 p.m., 5 p.m. for the next few weeks, because my son has after school program that conflicted. But anyway, hopefully that was helpful. And again, if you're here with me live, you can put hashtag live. If you're here with me on the replay, you can put hashtag replay, and feel free to drop any questions or comments in here. And also, if you want me to have a live about something specific, you can also put that in the comments and I'd be happy to dive into that so you can have more clarity around it. But anyway, hopefully that was helpful. Thanks for joining me today. I will see you next Thursday. Take